along the pristine beaches and calm waters of the Gulf Sea against the backdrop of a futuristic skyline, the UIM F1H2O World Championship returns to Abu Dhabi. As the fastest powerboat Goliaths from around the world descended on the UAE capital for the 5th and penultimate round of the 2015 season. Abu Dhabi is a state-of-the-art city of skyscrapers that stands on the forefront of technology with its abundance of natural gems and treasures. This is a city at one with nature, boasting an array of green spaces and luxuriant parks, as well as some of the best golf courses in the world. It's also home to the wild deer from which Abu Dhabi gets its name. As modern as Abu Dhabi is, it's also true to its history, traditions, and roots, with age-old customs and crafts still practiced today, maintaining a direct connection with an illustrious Arabian past that is as deeply intertwined with the sea as it is with the desert. This sun-soaked Middle Eastern oasis has become a destination for tourists from all over the world, offering a wide range of fun and activities for visitors of all types and tastes. And with its intimate connection to the water, it's no wonder Abu Dhabi remains one of the top destinations for powerboating and the longest running race on the F1H2O calendar dating back to 1993. Locals have a keen interest in powerboating as the crowds descended for the 3-day event. Now a quick recap of what happened in the previous round. At the Grand Prix of China in Liuzhou, defending world champion Philippe Chiappe of CTIC China team put in a masterful display to clinch pole position in rough waters, with Q3 having been cancelled. Eric Stark of Emirates team had a huge crash, escaping with light injuries, but his Grand Prix was over. Chiappe's teammate Zhongzi Wei was the next victim of rough waters, barrel rolling out of qualifying. Chiappe was the clear favorite in pole going into the race as the Frenchman sought his first Chinese Grand Prix title in 16 attempts. Chiappe raced right ahead at the start, chased by Daniel Kamzi in second starting position. The Frenchman's speed was phenomenal, taking the commitment buoy and opening a gap early. A battle for third heated up between Al Rubayan and Celio, the Finnish driver overhauling the Kuwaiti from the outside to move into third. Behind them, Jonas Andersson of Team Sweden was holding off a spirited Ahmet Al-Hamali of Emirates team. The two engaged in a fierce duel. Defending China Grand Prix champion Alex Corella of Team Abu Dhabi was moving through the field, setting his sights on catching Chiappe as he made his way up. But his race came to an abrupt end on lap 4, shattering his chances at a 4th world title. Round 1 winner Sean Torrente of Victory Team kept his world title hopes alive, but the American clipped a buoy towards the end, and that was a penalization. Chiappe was unstoppable, leading from start to finish to win the Frenchman his first Chinese title. Al-Kamzi was runner-up, Celio third. The win moved Chiappe past Torrente to top the world standings going into Abu Dhabi, with Al Rubayan in third. Abu Dhabi witnessed a gathering of powerboating giants as 19 drivers from 10 teams competed at the 24th Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi. Frenchman Philippe Chiappe of CTIC China leads the world standings going into Abu Dhabi, fresh off that... memorable win in Liuzhou, China, and he's on track for a defense of his 2014 world title. In his way stand the local favorites, Team Abu Dhabi. Led by F1 H2O legend Guido Capellini, they're determined to win on home waters. Lead driver Alex Carella of Italy is a 3-time consecutive world champion. His teammate is local hero and Liuzhou runner-up Daniel Kamzi. Victory Team of Dubai are unveiling a new weapon for current world standings number 2, Sean Torrente from Miami. He's been on the season-end podium 2 years running, and he's hoping the new victory package will give him the boost he needs to clinch a first world title. In third place in the world standings is Kuwaiti phenomenon Yusuf Al Rubayyan of F1 GC Atlantic team. He won his first Grand Prix this year in Evian, France, and he's closer than ever to his dream of a world title. But don't forget the 2-time world champion from Finland, Sami Selio of Madcroc Baba Racing Team. The Finn is now on the rise. His third-place finish in Liuzhou has put him back in the running. Swedish sensation Eric Stark is back and ready for Emirates team following that horrendous crash in China. Currently 5th in the world standings.
I'm feeling actually really good. I've been working a lot with my hand. The eye, I had problem for 3 weeks, but the hand it's getting better and better. I was testing last week here with the team, and everything felt good again.
Evian runner-up Jonas Andersson of Team Sweden is also in the running for a world title, going into Abu Dhabi in 4th position. Andersson's Team Sweden teammate Jesper Fors had a dismal time in practice, the youngster crashing twice and flipping over in sensational style, taking out Motorglass F1 team driver Bernd Enzenhofer of Austria. Both boats were badly damaged, but Enzenhofer's number 23 boat was totaled. Both drivers were out of the running. The Abu Dhabi circuit is a 6-pin course with varying conditions, especially on that final tight left-hander that sent Jesper Fors flying.
I really love this race because it's very fast, very demanding, and normally the weather conditions here is perfect, so you cannot blame for the luck in the water so much, so you need to really do perfect lap here to get the good times, and I have been quite well done that, so let's see.
The qualifying is divided into 3 sessions, Q1, Q2, and then Q3, where the last 6 boats go on a 1-by-1 shootout for pole position. The pole position is particularly crucial in Abu Dhabi, considering 9 of the last 11 Grand Prix were won by the pole leader.
We had a good time this morning, so I'm confident for this session. I hope to do well and be in the Q3. That's the goal.
Daniel Kamzi barely got a lap in before he was out. Nader Bin Hendi of Victory Team was still adjusting to his new boat, unable to advance to Q2. Also out in Q1 were Christophe Larigot of Team EMIC, Bartek Marsalek of Motorglass, and Philip Roms of Madcroc. In Q2, there was a big battle for the final 6 between Yusuf Al Rubayyan, who was fastest in Q1, and Eric Stark and Sean Torrente. Torrente was still trying to get a feel for his boat and just couldn't find the speed to qualify for Q3.
Man, new boat, we really wanted to make the top 6. It was really close. I think I missed it by a couple hundredths. I know how far I can push the new boat though. That's probably the hardest I drove all year, just trying to get in. And in the last 2 laps, I probably drove too hard. I wrecked 4 times and didn't get wet, luckily.
Stark edged in front of Torrente into 7th, but was ousted from Q3 by Al Rubayyan. Also out in Q2 was Team EMIC driver Marit Stromoy, veteran multiple Grand Prix winner Francesco Cantando of Motorglass, Duarte Benavente of F1 Atlantic, and Schiap's teammate Gio. Soutenez of CTIC China. Q3, 6 boats remaining, each with 2 laps and the course to themselves to set their fastest lap time in the quest for pole. Al Rubayyan was first out on the course, setting a fastest lap of 47.47 seconds, more than a second and a half under his Q2 time as conditions worsened. Chiappe was next out, the Frenchman typically fast, but he was only marginally better than Al Rubayyan, setting a time of 47.33 seconds. Alex Carella of Team Abu Dhabi, a qualifying expert, did not disappoint as he took to the course in his brand new DAC boat and ripped it up to set a time of 45.86 seconds, shoving his way into provisional pole and throwing down the gauntlet. Al Hamili of Emirates team had a big task ahead of him, giving it his all as he tried to take on Carella's time. But the Abu Dhabi native ended more than 3 seconds off the pace. Jonas Anderson was second fastest in Q2, but his campaign came to a halt on his first lap out in Q3, fuel problems ending the Swede's run. That left only one man capable of toppling Carella, his perennial rival, Sami Celio. The Finn was fastest in Q2, and he went out on the course eager to repeat his pole win in Porto in round 2. 46.99 seconds beats everyone except Carella. Alex Carella has pole position at the Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi. What a result for the home team.
Really bad. There was 1 year that was really one crazy hard year for me. Since last year in China I was not making a pole. And make the whole year in Abu Dhabi is like special gift for me, for all the people who work for me, and it's like the first pole in my life. Was passed really so much time. So
Chiappe makes do with a 3rd place finish, but will it be enough considering the last 5 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix have been won from pole? With the day's racing over, teams and drivers had a chance to enjoy the local delicacies and flavors as they left the stress of racing behind them. Race day, the penultimate Grand Prix. Crowds gather. Excitement is in the air. The championship is on the line. With a top 3 finish and some bad luck from his competitors, Chiappe could take the world title here.
Sure, it's a long race, 48 laps. It's a long race, and the wind coming, and I don't know if it's possible to overtake the guys of the front of me, but if I have an opportunity, sure, I attack, but first finish the race.
But if Chiappe were to falter, the championship could swing wide open going into the last round.
Push to maximum. The whole boat is working really great and the engines are pushing good, so for sure I'm gonna go for the win here.
Starting lineup for the Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi: Carella with pole, followed by Celio, Chiappe behind them in 3rd, Stark in 7th, followed by Torrente, Stromoy and Cantando, Al-Khamzi starting in 18th with a lot of ground to cover. The seconds tick away and the drama builds as teams anticipate the distinctive roar of an F1 H2O race start. The race is on. Carella has a terrible start start as Celio and Schiap lead the pack to the commitment buoy. Anderson is moving up very fast on their outside. Tiny Al-Khamzi also flies out of the start pontoon, already moving up the field. Jonas Anderson locks horns with Schiap as they head to the commitment buoy neck and neck. Celio has the inside lane advantage with Schiap and Anderson to his right. Celio nudges Schiap out of his path there as he takes command. Further back, Stark has been overhauled by Torrente, who moves up the field. Heading toward buoy number 6, Celio in command, but Anderson is right up there with him, showing incredible speed, and Torrente is also catching up with the leaders, moving into 5th. Anderson speeds past Celio to take the lead on that long straight to buoy number 1. Celio watches as the Swede zooms past. Schiap, Corella, and Torrente hot on their tail. Further back, Stark getting passed by his Emirates teammate Ahmet Al-Hamali as the Swedes' drop continues. Al-Hamali is now setting his sights on Benevente. Alex Corella has made up for that start as he races past Schiap on the inside to move up into 3rd. Out in the lead, Anderson has left all boats behind him. Celio chasing the Swede, Schiap fighting Corella for 3rd, with Torrente just behind in 5th. Behind the lead pack, Tiny Al-Khamzi continues his meteoric rise from dead last to move into 9th as he overhauls Yusuf Al-Rubayyan and moves within reach of former teammate Ahmet Al-Hamali. No change in the top 3, Anderson, Celio, Corella, followed by Schiap chasing down championship points. As Schiap continues to chase Corella, Torrente comes up from behind and makes a move on Schiap, but the Frenchman shuts out the American and holds on to 4th place. Eric Stark is behind Torrente in 6th, with Duarte Benevente in 7th, followed by Al-Hamali, Al-Khamzi, and Al-Rubayyan rounding out the top 10. Stromoy and Roms fighting their way up to add some points to their season tallies, Cantando languishing in 13th with teammate Marshalek behind him. Meanwhile, Torrente keeping up the pressure, knowing he has to beat Schiap here. In a battle for 7th, Ahmet Al-Hamali passes Duarte Benevente of Portugal on the inside, the Emirates driver moving up on his teammate Stark in 6th. But Benevente's troubles aren't over as Al-Khamzi continues his ascent through the field, also overhauling the F1 Atlantic driver. That moves Tiny Al-Khamzi up to 8th position, the veteran former world number 2 climbing an incredible 10 places in just a few laps. Benevente now chasing in 9th. 12-time Grand Prix winner and 3-time world number 2 Francesco Cantando is in his 19th year on the tour, one of the most successful drivers out there. There's the buoy that was taken out by Philip Roms on the start lap, which cost the young Finn a penalty. Meanwhile, Anderson goes from strength to strength out there, opening a huge gap over Celio in lap 7. Torrente is currently in 2nd in the world standings, and up ahead of him is the world standings leader Schiap, whom he must overtake. Bad news from Cantando, the Italian is out of the race. Cantando's teammate Bartek Marsalek of Poland moves past Cantando into 13th spot. Back in the lead, Anderson laps Philip Roms, with Roms' teammate Celio still chasing, pushing hard, having reduced the gap. Celio giving it his all as they round that tricky corner and almost losing the edge there. This time Al-Khamzi has his sights on his former teammate Ahmet Al-Hamali, chasing his fellow Abu Dhabi driver down around buoy number 3 and passing him to move into 7th. As Anderson leads, Grand Prix of France winner Yusuf Al-Rubayyan slips further back to 11th spot. Anderson is running a remarkable race. A win here could make him a surprise world title contender for the final race in Sharjah. Al-Khamzi in 7th, setting his sights on Eric Stark, with Ahmet Al-Hamali behind them in 8th. Al-Hamali has been on the podium here once before, but hasn't won a race since 2012. Al-Khamzi chasing Stark down for 6th spot. The Abu Dhabi veteran closes the gap on the young Swede. Stark is on the inside, going into turn 3 in a drag race with Al-Khamzi on the outside. Stark's supporters look on, egging their man. The Swede is holding on, but Al-Khamzi powers through on the outside. Eric Stark can only look on as Al-Khamzi races away, setting his sights on the top 5. No change in the top 5. Anderson, Celio, Carella, then Chiap 4th, Torrente 5th. In 6th spot, moving 12 places up from his last place start, is Al-Khamzi. And Stark slows down and pulls off the course with mechanical problems. The Swede's run ends halfway through the race. Problems also for the current world number 2, Sean Torrente. His world title hopes taking a serious hit.
I lost it there for no reason. And I lost the handle before that, and then the power went away. New boat.
What is that?
Delamination, brand new boat, first time. So we're gonna learn, it's all good.
Up in the lead, Anderson reestablishes his huge gap over Celio. But it's Carella who's going all out in his pursuit of Celio, having trouble controlling his boat on that tricky corner turn. But Anderson appears to be slowing down, the Swede having problems, and he relinquishes his lead to Sami Celio in lap 32, as Carella also passes the Swede to move into 2nd spot. And you can see the heartbreak in Team Sweden. The race has a new leader, Sami Celio, but Alex Carella is chasing down the Finn, the pole position winner, giving it all he has. Back in 3rd spot, not pushing too hard, seemingly content with his position, is Philipp Schiap, who will be happy to see his main rivals for the championship all dropping out, knowing Carella and Celio are too far back in the standings to put a dent in his lead. As winds pick up and conditions worsen, Celio feels the pressure on him and makes a mistake on that turn as Carella comes charging from behind to enter a drag race duel on that long straightaway to turn number 1. Carella and Celio neck and neck. Celio trying to keep that inside advantage as Carella seeks extra speed on the outside. But Celio manages to hold on and accelerate away from the turn, zooming away from Carella. Torrente's teammate Nader Bin Hendi is still in there, trying to finish the first race in his F1 H2O career. Up in the lead, the clash of titans continues as Carella gives chase to Celio. But Celio has fuel problems, he slows down, and that moves Carella into the lead. The pole position winner back where he started. What a run it's been for the Italian. Frustration for Mad Croc team as Schiap also overtakes the Finnish driver whose fuel miscalculation costs him a race win. That moves Al-Khamzi into 3rd position in what is turning out to be a wonderful Grand Prix for Team Abu Dhabi. Carella back to his winning ways, getting his first win in 2015. But a runner-up finish for Schiap nabs the Frenchman his 2nd consecutive world title. The new world champion is Philipp Schiap. Jubilation for CTIC China team. Race results, 2 men on the podium for Abu Dhabi. Celio holds on for a 4th place finish. Christophe Larago gets a 10th place finish for EMIC. Celebrations for Team Abu Dhabi and disappointment for Mad Croc Baba. A great day for Abu Dhabi.
Atta boy, Johnny, atta boy! Yeah!
I feel very good because I'm finished, I don't know, 3rd or 2nd. I start last boat, but I get it.
A return to form for Carella, who moves up to 2nd position in the world standings on equal points with Torrente.
Yes! Yes! Wow, today was for sure the bigger battle that he did in the water with Sami was fantastic. I mean, I'm happy that I get a win, but it was already a fantastic race.
That excellent performance catapults Team Abu Dhabi to the top of the team standings, 2 points clear of CTIC China, with F1 Atlantic 3rd.
I'm really happy to take a victory here for me and for all my team that work like crazy for all these months in Abu Dhabi. It's really special for us.
I'm very happy today. I start from back and I keep fighting until finish the race 3rd, and we thank you. team manager, and everyone here. Sheikh Sultan bin Khalifa, he's sport this is sport Formula 1, long time.
In the world driver standings, Schiap defends his world title in 2015 with an insurmountable 70 points, but 7 drivers are still in the running for world runner-up in the final round.
For this reason, it's difficult for me to explain what I feel. It's second time, and we have a lot of work this year. We worked hard, and I'm very happy. It's good enough for me. My team is the best.
That concludes a thrilling Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi. See you for the last round of the 2015 season in Sharjah.
Wow.